Hit the thing.
Did you hit the thing?
I did hit the thing. Yeah. So they put the dead cat over a shotgun mic because the shotgun mic will pick up the wind and stuff. And it looks like
Gotcha.
It looks like you like pummeled a cat, flattened it, and then stretched its dead carcass over a microphone. So they call it a dead cat.
Okay. They call it a dead cat. I feel like that is an uncomfortable industry term that I was not aware of up until this point.
Yeah. You know, windscreen or pop filter or like something else. No. It has to be called a dead cat.
Dead cat. Dead cat.
Dead cat.
Yeah. Like that. That feels like something from the 30s that just no one ever bothered to revamp.
Yeah. Well, Steve, we're calling it a dead cat. But.
Well, what are our other ideas? Well, I was thinking about calling it a tube cock, but that doesn't feel appropriate. So weirdly, we're going to stick with dead cat.
Or a mic condom.
Ah, yes.
The good old microphone condom. Oh my God.
A microphone magnum. That's what we're going to call it.
A mic magnum.
Yeah. We bought this microphone pop filter that's far too big. We're every white guy overconfidently buying at a gas station.
She says it's the
I'll take the magnum. No, you won't.
She says it's the biggest I see. All right, I'm just...
Yeah, but she also has glaucoma, so, in all fairness.
I don't have any camera news. I'm sorry, Brandon. Nothing interesting happening in cameras.
Whatever will I do without that hot cam news?
Oh, did you try that lens?
I tried it very, very briefly. So I got to try and get out and actually use the thing. So I'm curious about it because it feels like it could be the sort of thing that I just use strictly that lens.
Oh, cool.
And that might be what would make it really worthwhile. Well, yeah, because the range is huge on that thing.
Yeah.
And unlike the other long range lens that I have, it focuses super fast.
Oh yeah, it's I think it's a 1.8. So
yeah, something like that.
Oh no,
so
it's a 2.8. Yeah.
Well, either way, it's fast enough that I don't know if I would necessarily need to carry another lens. I'd probably still carry my fixed lens just because I love that thing that much. But
yeah,
I don't think I'd need to. Would be more important.
Well, it doesn't go as wide as 50. I think it's what is it, 35 to 100? So that's 70 to 200.
Basically. Yeah, I thought it's something like that. I thought it was actually a 30, but either way,
30? Nice.
It's pretty fucking close.
Nice. Yeah, and if you want to get farther, you just step back a little bit.
Right. Yeah. And I've learned to kind of shoot that way using the fixed lens anyway. So I don't really feel like it would really hurt me a ton.
Yeah. Zoom with your feet, guy. Just zoom with your feet.
The greatest tool a cameraman has are the 2 feet below him. You can find your way to any shot if you just commit, have a good pair of soft-soled shoes, and a desire to get that shot.
Get the shot, guy.
Speaking of getting the shot, the COVID-19 vaccine is available at a drugstore near you.
Hey-oh.
Who are we telling? We have any fucking listeners still who haven't gotten the shot, because I feel like I've chased off everyone else who wouldn't actually do it.
That's good.
I know, including family members.
That's good.
It's perfect.
Jesus Christ, oh my God.
Yeah. It's double impressive because I don't have a whole lot of them I'm talking to. And turns out now I have even less.
But Brandon, I don't want them to track me.
Not even that, Jamie. It's not even about Bill Gates and his 5G shit or anything else.
But that's at least fun.
It's not about getting sick. It's not about anything else. It's strictly about being fucking lazy.
That's oh my God.
It's just about finding a bullshit excuse as to why you can't go, or more importantly, I'll get to it. You don't just get to a vaccine. It's public safety, it's common decency, it's a courtesy to other people, it's fucking empathy toward others.
Well,
you don't put that under, I don't know, maybe I'll get my tires rotated because eventually you'll rotate your tires. I don't think you're going to get the vaccine.
Yeah, oh man.
I think you're feeding me a line, so this way I stop bothering you about getting the vaccine.
Jesus.
Lazy fucking asshole.
Like, I at least make up a fun one. Like, I don't know. I mean, even the fun ones are not fun.
I'll get to it. You know, I just got to find the time. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because you're really burning the world down with all that shit you're getting done.
Oh my God. I
forgot when I'm in between, 2-a-day workouts and helping the homeless. I just have to work at the head of this Fortune 500 company, keeping thousands of people employed. When will I find the time for the COVID vaccine, Jamie? It might put me down for an afternoon and have me feeling under the weather. What will I do then, Jamie? How will the masses survive me being out of the fucking loop for a few days max?
Jesus Christ.
Ugh.
And there are people who still don't have access to it, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, whenever you think that there would be some kind of event that would bring out the best in people, nope. Whenever you think,
no, I'm not even convinced that an alien invasion would actually bring out the best in us. I think we genuinely would find out what's going on and hide the information from other countries.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yep.
I really do. Zombie apocalypse,
Yep.
I'm telling you right now, be careful of your neighbors. They will turn you into bait.
Yeah. And
motherfuckers will cut your Achilles and leave you be.
Yeah. And that's, yeah, I just, it's so depressing. It's so depressing. It's just like, get the vaccine, give the world access to the vaccine, get people vaccinated. Like, all the countries that were doing it right at the beginning of this whole pandemic are getting slammed by the new variants now because they don't have access to the vaccine. Like, a lot of the Asian countries that had everything under control, all of a sudden they're getting these new variants and they're fucked because they still don't have access to the vaccine. It's just,
which seems silly.
And they were doing it right from the get. They were taking it seriously from Jump Street, and now they're being punished for it, and I hate it, and I hate everything.
Yeah, but in turn, I'm more focused right now on the things that I can change, like selfish fucking family members who can't be bothered to get off their lazy fucking asses and go and get the vaccine. And to my understanding, both Uber and Lyft are still offering free rides to vaccination clinics.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
So
That's
even
cool.
if you didn't have the ability to drive yourself there for whatever reason, didn't want to go and do it, are afraid of, what happens if if I had a bad reaction and how will I get home? Okay. And if you are my family member and you find out that that's not true anymore, I will pay for your fucking Lyft out of my own pocket. You lazy fucking asshole. But you have to call me and tell me, hey, I'm done being a lazy cunt. I'm going to go to get the vaccine. Can you cover this? And I'll be like, you got it, dude. You got it. Because at this point now, someone needs to suffer for your fucking ass.
God.
I hate people sometimes. I really do. Anyway, as you can tell, Jamie, it's been a magical Tuesday.
Somebody's salty. Let's start
Once
this.
again, kids. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's
do this fucking
let's
thing.
just start this. Okay. Bam. Welcome to the fucking Vaxxed podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Noguchi.
Here for all of this.
Brandon, our man in the field.
Jamie Noguchi, we find ourselves on the beaches looking upon what I can only describe as a once-in-a-lifetime storm. Winds, waves, and hurricane-force gales batter the shores that are the fucking Duocast, part of the Hard Knock Media podcasting network. Jamie, if you'll excuse me, I'll hold on to my hat while I continue this read. Normally, you find yourselves upon two friends talking out what's going on. But no, not this day. This day, you find one friend unprepared for the saltiness of another, not toward his friend, but toward the world in general. I'm unclear, Jamie, if your microphone is picking up any of those blowing noises, but I can tell you it is hurricane-force gales that find ourselves upon this shore. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does Hard Knock Media mean? Jamie Noguchi, it means NOC, as in Nerds of Color, as in we are having conversations with our podcast manager, the man with the plan, Keith Chow, as he does an interview with Lin-Manuel fucking Miranda.
Holy shit.
As he talks about the heights. Holy fucking
Holy shit, Keith.
Dude. Look, hang on. Time out.
He knew that was going to happen too, and he buried the lead and he didn't tell us.
Son of a bitch has the nerve. Hats are off. The fucking nerve to come on this fucking show and talk about how he doesn't have any input. He doesn't have any influence. He doesn't make the world spin. The sun doesn't rise because of him. He doesn't influence pop culture. He has nothing to do with all prominent Asian actors suddenly finding themselves upon major films and television shows the way they should have been the entire fucking time. But then has the fucking big dick energy to fucking just randomly get done talking with us and then roll in like fucking Sasquatch with the tiny ditch behind him talking to Lin-Manuel Miranda.
God.
Fucking hell, Bob. Like, come on. Come the fuck on.
Because that's something that you have to, like, plan at least a week in advance. So he knew when he was on with us.
Minimum. That was on his fucking, I bet it's on the other side of his fucking computer.
Yeah.
Big calendar.
Yeah.
Right? Probably a fucking Hamilton calendar.
Yeah.
And all it says
I shot my shot,
Lin
motherfucker.
Right, yeah, right. Just Lynn with a big heart around the date. Like, fucking, I guarantee he woke up early, had a good breakfast, did a little bit of calisthenics, stretched it out, maybe found himself upon a basketball court, shooting a few hoops, getting himself nice and limber, gets a little sun, takes in a little vitamin D, feels good about the world, and then lays down that vitamin D, having a fucking conversation with Lin-Manuel Miranda like it doesn't fucking matter. Like it doesn't matter.
Man. Mr. Alexander Hamilton himself. Mr. Jabba Flow himself.
Sandbagging motherfucker. Like, we're... I'm gonna get myself thrown off the goddamn network at this rate.
Like, he didn't even tell us personally. Like, we spent like 5 minutes after the cast just chatting up. He didn't drop nary a hint. Nothing.
Not a word. Not a word.
Nothing.
Yeah. By the way, Lynn's people, if for some reason you happen to be watching this, he didn't tell anyone. He didn't break a fucking stride.
Nope.
If you guys had him as some sort of contract where you're like, hey, you're not allowed to talk about this until the date.
He did not.
He stuck to his guns.
Yeah.
We gave him a hard time about having influence, and he ignored it and let it roll off him like water off a fucking duck.
Yeah.
Off of an incredibly prominent duck. Off of a duck that has definitely a lot of influence in the world of pop culture.
Motherfucker.
Like a toy collecting fucking boss-ass duck. like a Pearl Jam loving, boss ass Lin-Manuel Miranda talking duck.
Batmobile duck.
Like a Batmobile loving duck.
God, so he got Lin-Manuel to give his daughter a shout out. Maybe it's one of those things where he doesn't he thinks of Lin as a friend now, so it's not a big deal to talk to him.
Fuck you. Fuck you. If that is the case, I'm sorry, throw me off the network for this. Fuck you. You don't get to just throw around my friend Lin.
My homie Lin.
Fuck that. No. You know what? No, he's too humble for that. You and I both know he's too fucking humble for that.
Then he just doesn't like us as much as we thought he did.
Jamie, I can guarantee you that, and that animosity is coming 100% this way. No reason why I'm kissing his ass every time I get a chance. I know I don't belong here. I am on everyone else's good graces at best. Borrowed time is what's going on right around.
Oh my God. Well,
I am on your coattails at best, my friend.
Well,
I ain't gonna be here without you.
Congratulations.
I know that fucking part.
Congratulations to Keith. Check it out. It's I think it's the main podcast. So it's like Nerds of Color. I think it's the main one. But check out the website. Check out the interview.
Yep.
Get hyped about In the Heights. It's coming to theaters. It's been a long time coming. Jesus Christ, fucking amazing shit.
Yeah. Yep.
God damn it, Keith.
So,
motherfucker.
I wait for next week when Boss decides he wants to be on the podcast again to defend himself about being so humble while he tries to be humble. And this is when I find out that, like, he's got another interview with, like, fucking Batista next week, too. Like, he's going to end up doing some shit like that.
Oh, man.
He's going to start doing fucking interviews with people, like, genuinely, that we would kill to just chit chat with, and I'm just gonna start getting mad. Yeah. Like, that's all that I'm left with.
I am surprised that no one on the network got to interview famed Asian American actress Emma Stone for Cruella that just dropped over the weekend.
I mean, in all fairness, Jamie, if there is anyone on the network to interview famed Asian actress Emma Stone, it's your boy. Like, I'm your guy. You want to make Emma Stone feel comfortable about being an Asian American actor? This is the face you send. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's on point. But boy, howdy, you want to talk about turning a lot of the uncomfortable level down. When you also... Now, here's what I'm saying you do. When you send out the press request, you send my photo and send my name. And then when the time comes, she's sitting on the other end of the fucking microphone with your ass. And you get to ask some fucking questions.
So what was it like growing up as part of the diaspora?
Right, yeah, just like, I thought I was meeting with a Brandon Chalmers. Brandon's dead. I'm Jamie. Let's talk. Click. We're recording. Oh, what? We're recording. All right, now let's talk about you.
Someone tweeted out, like, it's amazing. Congratulations to all the Asian American films that are forcing Disney to, like, charge. Because, like, it was Mulan, it was Raya, and it was Cruella. So those three films were like, you pay in advance to see it, to see the screening.
Right.
Emma's right in there. She's with the people now.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, apparently where she belongs with other prominent Asian actors. So,
yeah. So good. Oh man.
This is me, Jamie. This is like me sending in like an ancestry.com like fucking DNA swab and finding out that like I'm some sort of distant fucking like 1.1% like Fiji Island native or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm suddenly just deciding like, you know what I need? Fucking tattoos. Legit. Oh yeah, just nothing but calf workouts and tattoos just
Yeah.
all day long. I start claiming shit I've never had a right to. Yeah.
I wonder about
I
the
think
yeah.
it's time you ask.
Cause I wonder about the
No,
haka. I don't know enough about like Maori culture, but whenever
neither do I.
you see the New Zealand rugby team, there's a whole lot of white people doing the haka. It feels like
Well, I am under the impression that one, they are led by somebody who isn't that fucking milquetoast ass white.
yeah,
And
yeah.
two, I have to believe that when you are on a team playing a sport like Aussie rules football, that you are kind of grandfathered in, very similar to how you all are very kind to me about being on this network.
Yeah.
Like when I am standing behind you, arms folded like some sort of fucking great white hope bouncer, like I wish a motherfucker would.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm here to check anyone with a MAGA hat is really what my job is.
Yeah.
I have to believe that those other guys are basically like, we're here by your good graces. Show us the right way to do this and show us how we make sure that we're not disrespectful to fucking anybody.
Yeah.
We're gonna make you proud.
Yeah, I wonder if it's
Like,
that type of
I have to
situation on
assume
the
that's
team.
how that works.
Yeah. Cuz
Oh yeah.
it's always been fascinating to me to see like and how all those teams are like well embraced, just going at it. And it's always impressive to see like
I have to believe that when you are of a nation that is that small, national pride really matters. Not necessarily in like a negative connotation, but like this is our people.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether you are native or milquetoast, you are one of us.
Yeah.
Like that's how that shit
you're
works.
on my team, we are crushing them. This is how we do it.
Right. Right. And I have to believe it's something very similar, like, especially when you are watching sports, that like, okay, if your team doesn't make it, the next closest one to you is like, yeah, no, I can totally get behind that.
Yeah.
So long as it's fuck those people in particular, I'm super good with this.
Fuck that fucker.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I have to believe that like if England shows up and takes on the New Zealand All Blacks or something like that, showing how little I know about it, because they knocked out, a different team from the island, everyone's gonna fucking suddenly be an All Blacks fan because fuck England. Like I'm just
Yep.
I'm under the impression that's how that works.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, it's most football fans and the Patriots is really what it comes down to.
God damn. Fucking Patriots. All right, Brandon Chalmers, what are you geeking on?
Oh man, it has been a long week already of work and what have you, and kind of
Jeez.
recovering over the weekend.
Yeah.
So we had a long holiday weekend and decided to spend a fair bit of it trying to recover. And the better half and I started tearing into The Wire.
Oh, such a good
That I
show.
had not seen in some time.
Oh,
Right. So we just got started season 3, and this is her first watch of The Wire. So she is experiencing everything totally fresh. And when she's hearing
Wow.
about all of these locations and everything being very local and seeing things that she recognizes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like the way that The Wire shows both sides of the situation, both from the police side and both from the the non-police side, whether you were an innocent civilian trying to deal with this or whether you're in the game, or like that kind of, no one's really good, some people are varying degrees of good, and then
yeah.
character arc growth, things like Presbeluski and how he starts and where he starts to go as the series moves on. You're
Yeah.
like, that guy's a piece of shit. That guy's a little less of a piece of shit. I fucking hate that I don't fucking hate that guy right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you start to like, yeah.
Oh, he's a teacher now?
And especially, oh, see, don't give it away yet.
Oh,
He
shit.
hasn't seen that yet. That's like season 5.
Well, she
No,
does.
you're
She
right.
doesn't watch the podcast, so it's fine.
Don't I fucking know it? And that's why I'm gonna call her ass out on it. Fucking bullshit. Shit ass. Anyway, so this is when I find out she's gonna end up coming to me after this comes out and be like, when is he a teacher? Yeah, well. But yeah, so we've been rewatching that, and that's been a really nice sort of thing. Like, there've been a list of shows and movies that I have seen forever ago or are like my staples that we've been kind of ticking through, and The Wire was one of those series that like I think you should watch and I think you'd enjoy in varying degrees, and like have been going through some of them, and some of them are a lot easier to watch, and I realized like, hey, The Wire can kind of a hard watch sometimes. Like it's very uncomfortable in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
But she's been drawn into it something fierce.
Nice.
And it's a reminder of like, man, when a show is good, a show is fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also learning about when the guy who plays Littlefinger starts showing up in season 3, and she's like, he's just playing a Wire character just in better clothes. And I was like, yep. 100%. 100%. After one episode, she's like, he's not even a good actor. He's just doing the same thing. I was like, yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
With a different accent.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I God, her learning that McNulty is actually British.
Oh, yeah.
And them going through, and I don't think I'm giving anything away, but there's an episode in season 2 where McNulty gets basically put undercover as a John trying to book a high-class escort and does a like British accent, and the rest of the cast are like, it's pretty good, but you really need to work on it. And she's like, oh, fuck all of you. This is bullshit. Because like 3rd episode in, I was like, hey, by the way, he's like ridiculously British. And
Yeah,
he
is.
What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
And like, I brought up a video of him, and she's like, how the fuck are he and Idris Elba both so good? And I was like, because this is what real ass actors do. Like, yeah. Because real ass actors doing real ass actors.
They understand the assignment. Like, they get it.
Yeah.
They know what's what.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've been watching The Wire, and that's been super good. So we are like, I think 3 or 4 episodes into season 3 right now. So we got a little ways to go. We're right about the halfway point.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. Things are good. We're enjoying it. Jamie Noguchi, what have you been geeking out about?
So we live across from a pool, and we've lived across from the pool for like 8, 9. How many fucking years have we been in this place? We've been here for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say you all been there a hot minute.
Like 10 years. We've never gone to the pool. It's like a private pool. It's like private membership, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
We got Hazel came along. We were like, maybe we'll sign up when Hazel wants to go to the pool. She's never wanted to go to the pool. This is the year that she wants to go to the pool.
Okay. Does she know how to swim?
No, she doesn't. So we're gonna have to get her swimming lessons and all that kind of stuff. She has like a floaty thing that she wears. So it looks like armor with like these massive shoulder pads. So she looks like a Gundam walking into the pool.
The chest thing and the back plate and everything else I got to keep her upright and all the fun stuff.
Yeah. So Memorial Day weekend. Yesterday was the first day that the pool was open. Everybody's at the pool. We're at the pool.
Yep.
Everybody's vaccinated because this neighborhood is very up on that shit. But like,
awesome.
It was my first time in such a. Everybody's outside, so like, you know, but I don't know.
Right.
It felt weird, man. It felt fucking weird. I guess the only positive is like, if you're in the pool, everything's dead because it's chlorine and everything.
Oh yeah.
Everything is dead.
Oh yeah.
So like,
yeah.
You know, if you're sick of anything, like if you have a cold, just dunk your head in the pool. Everything you have is gonna die.
Yeah.
So yeah, community pool. I've never been part of a community pool. Like growing up, we would go to the YMCA, for like swim team and shit like that. But like, the Y is not necessarily a public pool, but it's a public pool. Like anybody can go, you know, they have visiting hours and all that kind of shit. Like our daycare center would walk a couple blocks to the pool. None of the kids had to be members. You just go. So like, I'm familiar with the public pool.
Right.
I've never been part of like the private pool scene.
See, you're talking about what I grew up with, because we didn't have a public pool near where I lived, so it was always the private pool, and then that's ended up where like I ended up getting one of my first jobs.
Yeah.
And worked there as a lifeguard,
Yeah.
and then head lifeguard and swim instructor and tennis instructor and camp counselor and all sorts of shit like that. Like I worked there a couple years doing stuff like that. So yeah, I remember that life.
Yeah.
It can be a lot of fun. It can be very intimidating in a lot of ways, but yeah, I highly recommend it if you've got a good environment with really nice people that can make all the difference in the world.
I think it's going to be great for Hazel because there's a lot of kids her age and a lot of the older kids. They grew up with some of them, so like she's getting to meet everybody. So that's good.
Right. Okay.
It is very, very homogenous. So it feels weird. It feels weird being out in public without a mask, but it also feels weird being like. It's just like I don't see too many other people who are not white in here.
Jamie, the private pool thing is kind of a white person thing, as I can tell.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and yeah, I don't know how to feel about that.
well, yeah. I mean, is that a reflection of your neighborhood?
I am not sure. Like the class
Okay.
the class makeup is pretty diverse. Like Hazel's class, like the actual kids and stuff. But I don't know enough about the people in the neighborhood to like know what the demographic makeup is and all that kind of stuff. I would assume
Right,
from the people at the pool that it is. I have infiltrated successfully.
I'm under the impression that this pool is not cheap.
I don't actually know.
Most private
I
pools,
didn't sign those up.
access to it is not terrible. Okay.
But yeah, so it's
So-
it's an experience. It's different. It's different. It is unfamiliar territory.
This is very familiar to me, and I extend out my services if you'd like me to teach Hazel how to swim.
Yeah.
It has been many years since I've been certified, but I know what the fuck I'm doing.
This season, yeah, they're not allowing guests, unfortunately, so they're keeping it like very hush in. But like when guests are allowed to come, I'm definitely bringing every fucking person I know because it's a nice pool. There's a grill.
Yeah.
There's many grills, so like we could just get a whole bunch of like Chinese food and steaks and like have Korean barbecue and stuff. They had
super good with all that.
they had they call it the Dad Band, and it's a band made up of dads in the neighborhood, and they were playing music. Imagine an 80s bar. That's the type of music they were playing. So like a lot of Buffett hits and other stuff that.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're talking about white dads playing music.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Cheeseburger in Paradise.
There was some
Like,
Cheeseburger in Paradise. There was like Tom Petty. You don't know how I feel to be how it feels to be me.
Yeah. All the slow shit
for the kids. You know, let's roll another joint for the kids. And Audrey, Audrey was joking. She was like, "Hey, you could join the Dad Band." And I was like, "Oh, I will volunteer to play. Like, I will totally get Johnny and the band back together, and we will play nothing but funk music because our goal will be to get all the kids to dance." Or we will play nothing but heavy metal covers because our goal will be to get everybody to leave. So like, we will have an agenda if we play.
See, and this is why you won't be allowed to play the community pool, Jamie.
Come on, all the kids like
Because
do host.
Your opening line of Rockville Community Pool. Who's ready to fuck some shit up? Huh? Yeah. Grab a motherfucker by the hand. I think you and I both know this one. This one's called the Hokey Fucking Pokey.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's a new experience for me. I went to the pool all the time growing up, but I guess I don't consider myself a pool person. But now looking back, like I took swimming lessons on the weekends, and I mean I went, but that was it. Like I didn't go hang out at the pool, and I guess now we are going to be hanging out at the pool. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
the pool was a real part of my childhood growing up because I had a friend of mine who their grandmother had access to it, and I went to day camp there. And then when I would leave day camp, she was signed up as being one of the people who could sign me out of camp. So like
Aw.
camp would end at like 4 o'clock, and then they would head up there like maybe like 3:30 or so, and then basically she like she would walk over and sign me out and just tell the camp counselor, hey, when he's done, walk him over to the pool and then I'll take responsibility for him. So like it was a super nice little thing that they would do, and like camp counselor would just walk me over and then they would wave and I'd wave back, and then like everything was cool. And then I would just go home with them, and then they'd just drop me off at my house in the neighborhood. And like everything was all within walking distance of like even my house to the community pool was all within walking distance. Not quite as close as yours, but like
Yeah.
relatively close.
That's fun.
So I get the idea of this. So I grew up kind of experiencing this, and the pool being kind of the place to go to, and it being a really great place for me to kind of get to meet other kids and get to know people,
Yeah.
and just kind of have a place that I felt very comfortable with. And it was very funny that it ended up being a place where I ended up finding work later on. Whereas literally, I walked up and I knew the owners from when I was
Yeah.
a fucking camp kid.
Yeah.
there. And like walk up and be like, "Hey, are you guys hiring?" And they're like, "Yeah." "Do you want to cut the grass?" I'm like, "Sure, whatever you want to hire me for. I'm down for whatever you want to hand me." And like did the grass for like maybe a week, and then they were like, "Hey, we're looking for lifeguards. You cool with getting certified? Like we'll pay for it." And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
That's dope.
I just kind of right, like just kind of defaulting into it. And like
Yeah.
when I had the conversation with them, I was like, do you think it's a little weird that I'm a lifeguard? And like the one guy, Frank, who ran the place was like, look, I need responsible people. You seem like you're doing pretty okay. He goes, and I'll be honest with you, you seem like the only one of our new lifeguards who could actually haul an adult out of the water. And I was like, fair enough. That lifeguard it is. Let's do this thing. Well, it was funny because like maybe a couple months later, he ended up like pulling me aside and ended up picking up all these extra hours because it'd be like Friday night and the pool would shut down at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then they'd order a bunch of food and all of his friends would come over and I'll bring a bunch of beer and I'd hang out at the pool till like 2 a.m. with them, basically keeping them alive. And all I did was sat around and they covered dinner for me and everything. Like everybody
nice.
made sure like he brought plenty of energy drinks and sodas and everything and stocked the fridge up for me. And he was like, I just need you to make sure that we're all fine. He's like, and then I'll make sure you get home. And I'm like, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. And like, he'd always break off like cash for me or whatever it is. But because I was capable of hauling, during my test, I took someone else, who we both know, and he was also doing lifeguard training, and hauled him across an Olympic-size swimming pool, up the stairs and up onto the deck with him on my back, and then put him down. And because he was well over 250 pounds, no one questioned whether or not I could handle everything.
Nice.
So basically the second... I was immediately told, well, you passed the test, and I was like, cool, good talk. And then, not much afterward, the boss was like, hey, so what are you doing on Friday nights? And I was like, what are you paying me to do on Friday nights? And he was like, good answer.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. I was never without work. Like I worked as many days as I possibly could. And that dude just gave me a ton of responsibility. And I just had like full run roughshot over that place. And
That's
I spent my
awesome.
summers hanging out and getting tan and making some extra coin and getting a chance to just kind of be poolside when I wasn't working. And it just kind of became the place that I was at just every day, whether I was working or not. Like, cool, this is where I'm at.
I feel like I feel like there's a possibility that could be in Hazel's future at this place because it has that vibe to it.
That makes a lot of sense. So in that sense, I get this theory of like, this is a very white thing. You are not fucking wrong. But also, it can be kind of a weird, and I understand that my experience is my own, and Hazel will probably have a different experience than I did, but it can be kind of a safe haven kind of place of like, you know where she is, you know it's a relatively safe place, you know that no one's pulling any fuckery or anything else like that.
Yeah.
All the parents are nosy as fuck usually.
Oh yeah.
So all the kids are usually pretty safe. So like, this is the one nice byproduct of like everyone kind of being nosy is once you get past some judgmental ass parents, you realize that like none of the kids are ever in any real sort of danger. Like lifeguard or no lifeguard, there are easily 10 sets of eyes on the pool at any given time.
Yeah.
And like, you know, everything's going to be pretty okay.
Yeah. And I think once Hazel learns how to swim, we'll be a lot more like relaxed about it. Cause right now it's like,
oh yeah,
I gotta watch her. It's cool. I don't mind the water, but like there's that level of like, you know, if she goes off with her friends and her friends want to do this and that, and she can't get it because she can't get into that deep end and all that kind of stuff. It's so we'll get there.
Yeah, the only thing I will tell you from my experience and my experience of training other kids, use that desire to hang out with their friends as motivation to learn how to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Like try and get over fears of like getting your head under the water and, you know, how do I hold my breath properly and what have you. Like my experience has been, because I used to teach like 25 kids at a time of varying ages. So we had them like broken up into groups, and I was doing like 6 and 7 year olds, and then like 8 to 10, and then like 10 to 12, and then 12 to 15.
Yeah.
And like, no matter what was going on with those kids, weirdly enough, letting the motivation of being able to hang out with their friends was always the big thing. And just sometimes it was just dunk them, just toss them in, and they'll be fine. Once they realize they're going to be okay and the fear kind of starts to go away, then all of a sudden they're doing cannonballs and everything's great. Like, I've always found that has been the great equalizer is the second you can get a kid to do a cannonball in 3 feet of water and they like literally like they put their feet down and then they like stand up and they do the little weird like dog paddle thing and they realize they're okay. And they're like, I just jumped to the water. It was like, go do it again. And they're like, I can do it again. And then you're off to the fucking races.
Yeah.
And then it's immediately just how deep can I go where I start to feel comfortable. And then you can use basically the lap from the cannonball in a way to be like, okay, you can do 5 more cannonballs, but you have to do, you know, a front stroke every time you do it.
Right.
Okay, I see you pulling any of that dog paddle silliness. You're out of the pool. That's it. Okay. Yeah.
That's awesome. The
man.
one really cool thing about it, no one's going to be able to get the summer job of lawn mowing because they have a robot. They have a Roomba robot that mows the lawn. And it's really cute. Yeah. Like, I'll look over sometimes in the middle of the night and I'll just see this little light going on and it's just going
just cutting the grass.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And there's a big sign outside that says, "Hi, my name is Zach." And it's like, oh, there's Zach cutting the grass.
That's cute. I like that. I was going to say, like, where I was at, the place was pretty large. Like, it had like one of those gator walk things with like the lily pads and everything over the water with the cargo net. And it had the big adult wading pool and like a giant fucking like 3-spin water slide.
Oh my God.
Stuff like that. So like, we had some real estate and then tennis courts and bocce courts and stuff like that. So like we had some real ass real estate that we were doing some real fucking landscaping going on.
Yeah, that's huge.
Like, yeah. Oh yeah, dude, the place was gigantic. Like when I say I was genuinely like Mondays, especially where it wasn't open to the public, it was just a kid day. It was like come in early, clean all the decks where you put like dry chlorine down, chlorinate all the decks. Get all, and what I mean by decks is all the concrete areas and everything else like that. So this way nobody gets any foot fungus or whatever it is from all the water.
Yeah.
Do all that, teach swim lessons for everybody, brief lunch, then go all the way down on the other side of the property, teach tennis lessons for the same amount of kids, then go back up, change, shower real quick, and then hop back in the pool and then basically do free swim for all of those kids. So like you're doing free swim for like 150 kids all at the same time.
Man.
And that was basically my Monday. every week. So I really got to know the kids and being able to kind of get to know them. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember this. But yeah, Zach, while he seems cool, wouldn't have cut it where I was at.
No, Zach would be like,
No. No.
fuck you. I'm out of batteries. I'm going home. Send me back to the factory.
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, our pool is not that big, but that sounds really fun.
It was a very good experience. At some point along the way, I'd like to try and go back and take other people. I haven't been back in years.
Yeah.
Hopefully they survived all this pandemic silliness.
Yeah, I hope so. All right, we actually have a topic. We have a topic. So let me play this.
Okay,
sucker.
let's get to it quick.
Oh shit! I just knocked over everything. Brandon.
Is there water everywhere?
No, it's just toys everywhere.
Oh.
Brandon, this past weekend, Cruella premiered on Disney Plus and in theaters. I don't give a shit about Cruella de Vil. However, are there any Disney villains that you would like to see them do a movie out of?
Are there any Disney villains I'd like to see them do a movie out of? Now, are we talking about... Now, by the way, for clarity's sake, my phone and I am Googling right now Disney villain. Because I'm concerned that like I won't have a comprehensive list or I won't think of anyone. Now, are we talking about a movie that glorifies a villain, that tells a backstory of how a villain became a villain? Like, what are we talking about here?
I don't necessarily give a shit about like a redemption arc for a villain. I just there are a couple. There's actually only one that I really want to know the backstory of how they became to be. So like it could be like a true villain origin story where they end up being the villain by the end of the thing. Like I'm not interested in doing a Joker thing where like, oh well, I can understand where they're coming from. No. Sometimes it's okay for a villain to be a shithead.
Okay. All right.
But if you wanted to do a redemption arc, we could go that route too. Like I don't want to put that on it. I'm just interested to see if there are any that you would like to see more of. There's one I can think of like off the bat, but what do you have?
So the first one that I would probably go with is the marvelous Mad Madam Mim from The Sword and the Stone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because she's kind of weird and quirky and had a bit of alliteration going on and seemed very eccentric and like was very underplayed. Yeah. And like, I'm curious about what the backstory is. What's up with her and Merlin? Like,
yeah.
How does that go any farther? Like, where have they been fighting before? Like, how does she end up getting her power? I'm curious about that. Like, not necessarily how to glorify her, but like, I want to know what the fuck is going on with that.
We need more lore. That's a good one. I like that one.
A little more lore. Ursula, I fucking love.
That's the one. That was the one that I was like, why are we bothering with Cruella? Ursula is right the fuck there.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree. Though I have a feeling that would turn into a story that wouldn't be appropriate for children.
That's okay.
Because I gotta believe Triton's got a sickness for the thickness.
Yeah, there seems to be more there.
She's got scorn lover all over that character.
Oh yeah.
So I am here for that. I don't care for who James Woods has become, but I absolutely love that version of Hades.
Hades, yeah. More with Hades could be interesting.
Yeah, and probably number one for me is Yzma from Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
Because she's fucking delightful.
She's so good.
She's such a fucking complete character when we find her. And that is well into her life.
Yeah.
Like,
man.
And like, I don't know if anyone else can really keep that going.
Yeah.
But like, that whole thing, I'm sad
that Eartha Kitt can't do it, but that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. I also wouldn't mind seeing just a like compilation of how Gaston became Gaston.
Like, yeah, the Young Adventures of
Because
Gaston.
I want to know, are those things real? Like, is he that good, or is it a lot of just pomp and circumstance storytelling bullshit? Like, I'm here for all of that. I would also accept maybe some sort of like Disney reality TV thing where we actually like we cast the next Gaston from like an unlikely guy, but he's got to be able to do all of the things that like cartoon Gaston
Yeah,
can
he's got to
do.
be able to juggle like all those goats and shit.
He's got to be able to juggle. He's got to be silly strong. He's
Yeah.
got to be really capable. He's got to be able to sing. I want the fucking hamburger meat all hanging out. Like I want the Gaston. I want the search for Gaston.
The search for Gaston. Yes. Yes.
And like it's its own reality show where we search for the person who plays Gaston. Who's the real Gaston? Doesn't have to look like him.
Right.
Not talking about the Disney Park version.
Yeah.
But if we cast like a CW version of Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Who's actually Gaston? Not who looks the part of Gaston.
But who can do those things.
Genuinely can do it. Right, yeah. I want somebody who's got the fucking biceps and does the whole nine.
Like
and
a Hemsworth.
Lives the life. I'm not sure a Hemsworth can even pull it off. I don't think they can juggle.
Oh.
Like, because I'm betting there are a bunch of fucking gymnasts that will come out of the woodwork. I'm betting there's a bunch of bodybuilders. Like, you want to talk about some fucking CW level arm candy? Holy shit. Could that be a great thing?
That would be fantastic.
Because if you are the search for Gaston, you're also the search for the next Gaston.
Yeah.
And what this Gaston is everything that the old one wishes he was, and then some. We remove all of the toxic masculinity out of it, and we turn it into a competition of who's the best person. Because as a bonus round, you have to do kind things for people.
Yeah.
For every juggling event, you have to then serve at a soup kitchen. You have to go and do a Special Olympics event, handing out waters and giving hugs.
Yeah.
You have to fucking go to, like, you have to do good deeds and be the Gaston that everyone wishes. Because frankly, what I think should be happening is we actually do a Gaston redemption story where she's an idiot and shouldn't go after an animal who abuses his staff and he just happens to be rich. Because she's a money-grubbing shithead when she's got a great person who can juggle and do push-ups and drink and hang out with everybody and tell great stories and is actually a kind person and has everyone fawning over them for a fucking reason.
Right.
Belle's wrong. Belle has always been wrong. I'm going to stand by this.
And we get to the heart of the matter right there.
We get the heart
Belle
of
is
the
wrong.
right there. Belle is wrong, and Beast is an asshole. He's a fucking asshole. He was an asshole child. He deserved to get turned into the Beast. He shouldn't have a redemption story, and he shouldn't get anyone who has that kind of patience to fucking go out. He's a dickhead.
And he got all of his staff
When
turned
is
into
he-
shit. Yeah. Yeah.
And then they all, for some reason, stuck around afterward? Why?
You're right. It's all his fault. It's all his fucking fault.
Look, hang on. I'm not saying it's all his fault, but let's not go feeling super bad for the shithead kid who managed to get his entire staff turned into a bunch of fucking furniture and then had them practice. Because, by the way, Be Our Guest is not a fucking number you do off the top of your head. That is uncomfortable fucking stage mom level of rehearsal. You and I both know he is popping champagne corks, The fucking feather dusters are doing the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
No, he's shouting, watching that little footstool go running off in the distance from he's shouting, and him just going, no,
You're not on my beat.
Top, 5, 7, 8, and right, like, you're wrong. That was wrong. You're flat, Lumiere. You're flat, and like hitting a tuning fork that is sadly a sentient child who just screamed. Yeah, because nothing's just an object.
He screams in A440.
Also, how the fuck do they get food? Is Beast running out in the woods and eviscerating a deer and then dragging it back and then no one's talking about it?
Yeah, there's a dark backstory to this that we're not seeing.
Yeah.
Because Lumiere's not hunting. Lumiere's not picking chickens.
No. But Lumiere has his own problems. He's trying to fuck a feather duster while actively being on fire. That man has his own shit going on. You want to talk about the hardest fucking leg? Lumiere's putting the work in. Trying to navigate that French accent in that fucking time. Literally on fire all the time. His best friend is literally counting down the minutes that he has been a goddamn candlestick and his girl is a feather duster. Like, what sort of cruel ass god decides that the only woman you want to be with can literally be lit on fire?
Man. Yeah.
You couldn't have turned, like, because at a certain point, I gotta believe he is looking at Fifi and then looking over at Mrs. Potts and going, you know who doesn't catch on fire? And Miss Potts got that dumper. Like, the only thing you have to worry about is whether or not that kettle goes off and starts screaming. That's it. That's all you have to worry about. Yeah, just blowing that loud ass whistle and Chip asking what happened. And really, just making tea.
I'll tell you when you're older.
Yeah, I'll tell you when you're older. By the way, that will be never. It'll be never. Because they communicate them back. Those people are locked in time. Chip is still like 9 years fucking old when he comes back. And by the way, what is chipped about him? It's not a tooth. That's part of that kid's skull. He has part of his dome piece fucking rocked and gone. And who did it? Because you know it was Beast. You know it was Beast.
So basically, the movie, the Disney version, is from Belle's perspective, and she's been making up all these excuses in her head. So we get the varnished version of the movie.
Right. Absolutely.
It's her fever dream. That movie is her fever dream.
It's not even a fever dream, Jamie. It's somebody who was looking for someone who understood them, then picked a bad boyfriend, then made continuous apologies. I've seen this story. It's a lot less convincing when it's set in Dundalk. It's a lot less convincing. When you get a guy with way too much hair, with anger issues, who takes it out on the furniture, who screams at her, and for some reason fetishes some sort of creation under glass, usually a piece of Colts merchandise. Like, this is a sad short story in Dundalk.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to tell me that Belle isn't at minimum verbally abused by Beast, we caught a bit of it. He screamed at her for no fucking reason.
Don't touch my rose.
Right. Hands off the remote.
Right. Yeah. Oh, dear. Oh.
Beast is nothing more than a fucking shithead Highland Town abuser, and Belle deserves better, and she left a guy who might not be the most palatable bedside manner because he's real popular, but maybe, just maybe he's a better choice. Maybe there's somebody else in that fucking tavern who isn't necessarily a gigantic, hulking, hairy fucking monster who takes it out on all of his staff, and maybe isn't a super shithead jock guy. I don't know, someone in the middle, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah.
The son of the bookstore guy, maybe?
Well, yeah, because the movie starts out with Belle dogging on the town. Like, this town sucks. I need to get out of here.
This town sucks. I have to get out of here. I have dreams. Cut to her celebrating another Christmas, wandering around Walmart on the fucking 24th in her fucking flip-flops.
Oh, shit. Belle was wrong.
Belle is a cautionary tale of peaking too early, and be careful what you wish for.
Yep.
Because she managed to get out of this town and into an abusive relationship, and then apologized for it, and then apologized for him when everyone recognized that he's a fucking monster. And she's like, no, but I love him. And then we all just are supposed to be okay with everything, because then suddenly he turns into a rich white guy because he wins the lottery. And then we're like, yeah, but Belle, he abused you. You're like, yeah, but now, I mean, he's real well off, so I guess that's okay, right? And you're like, no, Belle, no, it's not okay. You're going to end up dead is what's going to happen. He's going to hit you again. He apologized the last time because he knows he's wrong, and he's going to hit you again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jamie. Yeah. Yeah. What that little town needs is a fucking police force and a fucking... it needs an order. It needs someone to pull Belle out of this situation and have a conversation with her. Belle needs a catty friend who's willing to take Belle away from this and go, honey, you're wrong. He's hurting you.
Yeah.
Where are Belle's friends?
Yeah.
Where are Belle's friends?
She spent all that time dogging on the town. No one likes her.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So anyway, The Search for Gaston is what I'm talking about. So catch it on Disney Plus.
They'll search for the real Gaston. Will the real Gaston please stand up?
No, to double back. I agree with you. I think Ursula is the one to go with.
Yeah.
I'm unclear where they go with it because she's not a good person.
Oh no,
as I can tell.
Oh no,
she's like stage drama bad.
Yeah,
because like all she does is basically like she takes advantage of a child, which isn't great, but so does Prince Eric, so that's not fucking.
Well, and
either.
she collects souls and turns them into like little kelp and stuff. So like there's a lot of sick shit going on with her, but that's
right. Who did she collect souls of?
There's her song where she's talking about like those poor unfortunate souls. She goes around and like this is my collection of people who've made bad choices, so I had to take them. Like they weren't able to fulfill their contract, so they're mine now. And we don't exactly know what that means, but we see faces in the kelp going like
Yeah, I get that. I'm also looking for a little context here. I'm not ready to lump Ursula into being bad.
Well, yeah.
Near as I could tell, all she really did was talked and a young, dumb mermaid,
yeah.
More importantly, royal mermaid, yeah. Which, by the way, can we talk about Triton and maybe, just maybe, having some sort of royal guard or not trusting his daughter who randomly collects thingamajigs? Like, when you know you got a weird kid that likes to wander, maybe put somebody on that kid. Like, she is bound to get into some fucking trouble.
You don't think Sebastian is good enough?
No! Sebastian is not a fucking guard. Like,
yeah. For real.
Like, at least Mufasa had an excuse of fucking dying before Simba got into some real shit.
Yeah,
Like-
there needs to be like a secret mer guard that keeps an eye on her or something like that.
Fuck secret. They're fucking royalty. Here is my daughter, the princess. When in the fuck, in any sort of real ass society, have you seen a princess that doesn't have some fucking royal guard? Wakanda don't play around with that shit.
Yeah, that's true. He needs at least a bunch because he's got like 9 kids.
He's got like is the entirety of the Mer population like 40 people? Like what? You're telling me he doesn't like I get the idea that none of them can carry a fucking tune because when they did Under the Sea, not a fucking one of them was playing music.
Yeah.
Which is its own fucking problem of how white a fucking society that is. Not a one of them could fucking do a calypso rhythm. Not a one.
Yeah. God.
Like, that is the most embarrassing shit.
The funniest.
Also, R.I.P. to the actor who played Sebastian. I think he just recently passed.
Oh man, I think was it NBC or ABC? One of them did a live version, and they had Shaggy as Sebastian, and Shaggy came out in like a red leather jacket and sang "Under the Sea," and it was glorious.
Okay. Okay.
It was so good. It was so good. They had Queen Latifah as Ursula.
Super into that.
Yeah.
Super into that.
Yeah.
That is a solid choice.
And that's what I want to see.
all
I
of
want to see her as live action Ursula and get us that backstory that we want.
I would prefer Lizzo personally.
Ooh.
I want someone a bit saucier, like somebody who's got a very like, nah, fuck you kind of attitude.
Yeah.
And Queen Latifah would have been the right choice in 2005, but I think now, no, I think we've got better choices.
Lizzo would be great, man.
Lizzo would be fucking great. Plus, we get the addition of the flute.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And honestly, Lizzo doing something that all of the fucking generic 50-somethings could end up enjoying, where she does a new version of Aqualung, ironically.
Nice.
Yeah, see?
Nice.
Poignant, flute playing, and getting that fucking boomer vote.
I like it. All right, man. Well, we need the real Gaston, and we need a real Ursula movie, and there we go.
Yeah. I'm here
Printing
for all
money.
of this.
Disney's printing money.
Printing money.
Printing money. Brandon Chalmers,
That's right.
where can people find
Sir.
you?
You can find me on Instagram at @thatguychalmers. Jamie Noguchi, where can they find you?
At the pool, I guess, because I'm gonna be at the
Yeah.
pool. I'm on Instagram.
Doing laps by the pool.
Yeah. Instagram, Jamie Noguchi. Lots of cicada photos. Twitter, Angry Zen Master, and then wherever you find our cast and stuff. And yeah, that's all we got. Belle was wrong.